Another day, another character getting race and gender swapped over at Marvel. Remember when this used to be something to really go, oh my god, I can't believe they did this, but now it's like, oh look, it's Monday. It's race swap and gender swap another character because representation is more important than common sense. Somebody should turn that into a bumper sticker. Yeah. So let's get into this, people, because we got to talk about what they've done to Sentry because, Sentry is basically Marvel's trying to make a version of Superman. Character I checked in on once or twice, I never really had much of a big, interest in the character, to be honest with you, because it's kind of a knockoff version of Superman, and I really wasn't interested in that. His origin story has some complications here and there, and his greatest enemy is basically an evil version of his consciousness or something come alive. So it is troubling, but they've always tried to make it seem. What was interesting about Sentry is that how they kind of did it with him. Now the thing I found was interested about it, where he was a hero, and then after this event happened, he kind of got erased from everybody's memory. But then it kind of, it wasn't like how they did it in such a way. Like, it's kind of like how they try to do it with Spider-Boy. We're trying to make it seem like, okay, Spider-Boy was this kind of thing, but he was always there, and then he kind of got erased. Sort of, it was kind of like that for Sentry. He was a hero, everybody knew him, but then he got erased after an event happened, and that was how they tried to play it. Well, they've decided to do away with Sentry, who was a white man, because, that's the worst thing you can be now. And decided to replace him with a disabled black woman, because that makes all the sense in the world. Let's get into this article here from Cosmic Book News. Marvel reveals new woke Sentry, disabled POC female. Marvel Comics has once again replaced an original character with a politically correct version that makes zero sense. Like I continuously said, representation is more important than common sense. Because this makes no sense at all, but once you're doing it because you're kind of doing it, that makes it okay in the eyes of the activists who work at Marvel. And it will be coming soon to the MCU, because the MCU dumps all that, the Marvel dumps all that crap in the MCU, and the MCU is happy to just show it off. Marvel Comics has revealed its new woke Sentry, which follows the completion of the 4-issue Sentry comic book series by Jason Liu and Luigi Zagaria. I don't know if anybody read that. I sure as hell didn't read it, because I don't read Marvel and DC comics anymore unless I have to do an actual review for it, because I have just been burnt way too often. Way too flicking off it. I have been burnt for me to go back. Like, even with DC, a lot of people saying that, the Green Arrow DC series was really good, start off real good and all that. I was like, yeah, that going and go off the rails just now. Like, nah, it's going real good. Ask anybody about that now. Whole thing has become an absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. In that series, the original version, Robert Reynolds is dead. Okay. But per the description, ordinary people all over the world are suddenly manifesting his powers and experiencing snippets of Robert Reynolds' memories. Never heard that version before. Well, those ordinary people happen to include Fahad, Mallory, and Ryan. Okay. This is the cover for it here. Oh, look. Evil white male. We know where this is going. The gist of the story, I guess, is that blonde white dude Ryan ends up killing most of the people who have Sentry powers. What did I say? Know where this is going. And stealing their powers for himself so that he can be the last one standing. Oh, so this is basically like that movie with Jet Li. I think it was called The One, where it was going around killing multiverse versions of himself so that he would be the most strongest of them while the last one remaining. All right, that's really really interesting. Let's go on. A blonde white dude, Ryan, kills most of them, but in his way happens to stand Misty Knight, Jessica Jones, and Mallory Gibbs. Oh yes, a girl boss trio. I wonder how they're going to beat him. Probably by telling him that he's a white man and he should be ashamed for being born white. As well as a bunch of Sentry ghosts. Okay, and they have ghosts in it too. Well, that's something. All right. According to comicbook.com, Ryan believes himself to be a Sentry superfan, but he's obviously going about it the wrong way. So he's a superfan who's murdering people who have the same Sentry powers like him, so he could get all the powers to continue to murder people. That's exactly how fandom works, apparently, for them. Apparently, that's how it works over at Marvel. When you're a super fan, you kill everybody else who has powers, and then you take it all for yourself. Yeah. Did these people ever watch Heroes? I mean, that didn't work. And then the work was for call this guy name again, boy. Oh God, I forget his name. Who used to kill people and take their powers. Whatever the hell his name was, but yeah, that didn't work out well for him. The site also adds, you can already tell Mallory is more heroic than Ryan. Of course she is. She is the black disabled woman. She has to be more heroic than him. When she takes time from their battle to try and save civilians, yeah, because he's on a murder rampage and she's saving civilians because he's white, so he must be evil. She's black, and she's a black disabled woman of color, so of course she needs to be doing this. She needs to be saving everybody because she's the real hero. So apparently what happens is that somehow Mallory gets into Ryan's head where the ghosts of the other Sentries, together with Mallory, they tag team Ryan. No, not in that way. Okay, so yeah, they tag team him, but not in the way you're thinking. It wasn't any kind of, orgy fest like that. They tag team him, beat him up, and of course, that's what happened. The ghosts help Mallory defeat Ryan, where Mallory gets all their powers, and Mallory is the new Sentry. Nobody's ever saw that outcome coming. However, Mallory happens to feel guilty about all the people that got killed. So even though she didn't kill them, she decides to turn herself over to Misty Knight and the Aberrant Crimes Division. So she didn't kill anybody, but she feels guilty, so she decides she's going to turn herself over. I wonder how she's going to get away with this. Let's continue. Well, as a fellow disabled hero, yeah, because Misty Knight has a mechanical arm, Misty Knight apparently agrees not to arrest or charge Mallory, but to train Mallory as the new Sentry. What exactly was she going to arrest or charge her for? She didn't kill anybody. The person who did it is apparently, I'm guessing, dead or something. I don't really know. I didn't read it, but what was she going to charge her with? In the end, Mallory decides to ditch the Sentry name and go with Solaris. The Sentry will be appearing in the MCU's Thunderbolts, played by Lewis Pullman, who happens to be said to be getting killed off at the end of the movie. Like, anybody even cares about Thunderbolts at this point? So, yeah, this is it here. She comes out, says, "Call me Solaris, where do we begin?" And she's in a wheelchair there, and that's it. So this is the new Sentry. Again, as I'm saying, this whole thing makes no sense. The story is as predictable as it comes. White dude bad, black girl good. That's it. These people are no longer trying. They're no longer interested. They're no longer desirous of making anything good. They're just pushing representation like it's lifeblood that they need to keep going. And if they don't do it, then, they're going to somehow get cancelled by the boogeyman who's waiting for them. This made no sense. If you want to make a hero who wants to do something, make a hero who wants to do something. You had Sentry, you could have done something with the character if you wanted. No, so let's kill him off, spread his powers across the world, have the white guy who's apparently a super fan and decides to murder everybody else so he could have all the powers for himself, be beaten by the disabled black girl, because that's sensible in some way in their minds. I'm not sure how, but that's what they think. This is not going to work. Nobody's going to read this. Nobody has any interest in this. This character is yet again another bland, bold-faced, pushing representation thing. I didn't even read the Sentry thing. I have no idea what they've been doing with Sentry for the longest while. I don't think most people do. People just want to read stuff and be entertained and not see all this nonsense pushed in there. But again, this is what they do because you're not having, because the writers at Marvel are being influenced by the activists who are telling them this is what you need to do, and this is why comic industry is just dying. So yeah, the new Sentry is a disabled black woman because that makes sense. We have Moon Knight just got killed off, and now the person who's running his company is a black woman. This here is happening here. They keep pushing as much nonsense as they want, and nobody is interested because everybody keeps seeing through this rubbish that you're all doing. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, should hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.